Hey everyone, this is Stevie Richards. Welcome back to the home studio and welcome to this video that I feel like is going to be very useful because it was useful to me because the fitness industry can be way overcomplicated, way too confusing, and especially going into the new year, new you phase in many people's fitness journeys, maybe a reset in your fitness journey or trying to simplify your fitness journey because quite frankly, it feels like it's confusing and overcomplicated by design, mainly on the part of brands and people trying to sell you stuff, particularly their product, their service, their workout program. And I feel like this particular video from a creator called Average to Jacked says, unfortunately or fortunately, fitness really is this simple. So we all need to be reminded of this. I feel like it's a great opportunity to react, reinforce, and also for me to be reminded that it needs to be simple. As my friend Mike Barron's always says, boring consistency produces amazing results. Let's get right into the video.
I made this post a few days ago as just a simple reminder that getting in shape isn't complicated because I don't lift 6 days a week, my workouts aren't 2 hours long, and I don't take a bunch of supplements or follow some extreme diet. Everything that I do
Right there, right off the bat, he gets right to the point. Basically, I'm interested. Once again, I've watched this video a couple of times, but interested to see what his split is, what his workout routine is, what he does. Please give him a follow. Please subscribe. Link will be to this video as well as his channel in the description below. But he offers a lot of great advice to everybody out there. He looks jacked, so I, I'll definitely take his advice. Try to get more jacked.
to stay lean and jacked is simple. And my goal of this channel is to teach you how to do the same because my first few years in the gym were nothing but overwhelmed from the massive amount of information and contradictions. And I know you guys can relate to exactly what I'm describing because I get comments and messages from you every single day.
Also, want to say too, that is by design on social media. It's so confusing. I haven't been on social media in well over a year. We're going to address that and other topics. At the end of this video, I'm going to talk about not a different direction, but an additional category here on the channel, much like this or the lawsuit video of reacting and commentating, but also putting a different documentary style presentation. I already started talking about it. We'll get to that at the end of the video.
So after making that post, someone replied and asked, "What is the fitness industry trying to feed us?" I told them the truth: complexity, artificial supplements that are actually harmful to your health and bad for you and that you don't need, gimmicks, trends, and the idea that you have to live in the gym or buy what they're selling to make progress. You guys have to understand the fitness industry literally makes billions every year, and it keeps growing because people keep searching for shortcuts. And the more confused you
That's kind of the world, the society we live in is the quick fix. I talked about it before, the 21-day fix, the 48-hour fast, these extreme diets, which I've tried, and I should go deeper into my journey with diets like carnivore, keto, and finally now at 54 years old, settling something similar to the bodybuilding 40-40-20 diet, which is the Mediterranean diet. I feel like just my opinion, that is the best diet for longevity. That's the best diet for sustainability. That's the easiest diet in a way to stick to rather than these very, very limiting diets. And there is situations where the keto diet works with certain people with diabetes and other stuff like that. By the way, not a medical professional. I'm sure he would say the same thing. Definitely consult your doctor and follow your own fitness journey. This is just to kind of clear the confusion up a little bit, which we're going to try to do very, very often here on the YouTube channel.
or the more you buy. People want to believe it's complicated because that makes their excuses valid. But the reality is it's simple. It's always been simple. So the goal of this video is to show you the handful of things that actually matter to getting you jacked, things that only take a few hours a week and can put you in the best shape of your life. We're going to start with how many times a
He hooked me with that one. I definitely want to watch and hear what he has to say. And I'm just reacting. I'm going to play a lot of the video if I can, but I want to offer my viewpoint. Nothing I do is anywhere near perfect. I have my pitfalls. I haven't been quite on the diet. It's a holiday season, but no excuse. I definitely need to be better starting now, not just in January. And I definitely recommend today is December 6th as we're recording this. Definitely recommend. Don't wait till January 1st. You got 3 weeks to really dial it in at the hardest time of the year. If you can stay somewhat on course, somewhat strict, you're going to be awesome when it's the trend in January to do so.
Week you should be lifting. For 99% of people, 3 to 4 days is all you need, and 4 is probably better in the beginning since you'll get more practice overall. But as you advance in your lifting journey, doing less but with more intensity is probably the best bet. Most people don't need more workouts, they need better workouts, more intense.
I will comment on the mind muscle connection and how really easy it is for that to slip from your routine. This past week, for some reason, I kind of just went right through the workouts and I didn't feel the pump and it didn't feel as intentional as it should have. I don't know, it's because I was just kind of lagging from lack of sleep, things like that. We're going to talk about that here on the channel as well. But it does feel like it's kind of off right now. And as you eat foods that are very inflammatory, especially at my age, the workouts are affected and you kind of feel like maybe subconsciously, if not consciously, you want to rush through it. So quality, as he's saying, over quantity, 6 days a week versus four. If the six are garbage, it's like garbage reps. If the four, the four workouts are really intense and really good, not hurting yourself, very intentional, or six going through the motions, first 8 to 10 reps are garbage, and the last 2 to 3 are the 2 or 3 seconds up, 2 or 3 seconds down type stuff.
Workouts. When you train 3 or 4 days a week, you recover enough to actually get stronger from session to session. And getting stronger in a moderate rep range is why you build most muscle. It's not the pump, it's not some pyramid bicep workout, it's definitely not a shock the muscle routine you found on TikTok, and it's not a 2 hour long arm day. It's looking at your incline dumbbell press and seeing that you started with 45 pounds for 7 reps in each hand, and now a year later you're pressing 80s for 10 reps. And I want to repeat this point. Getting stronger in a moderate rep range is why you build most muscle. And this reminds me of when I was in the beginning stages of lifting. I would do something called 21s with a training partner, and we would start with 7 reps of barbell curls, and then we would literally pass it back and forth until we reached 21 reps, and then keep repeating until we couldn't move our arms. And now I look back and kind of just shake my head. Yes, it built some muscle, like maybe, but really all it did was give me a pump. And what I'm trying to get at is you don't.
He makes an excellent point right there. And obviously, I'm lifting a little bit lighter right now. Mine is not really in that mid range, although I should revisit it. The weight doesn't matter, it's the reps, the intensity. I'm not quite as strong as I used to be. I'm very limited with a back injury. So, picking this up and trying to put it down, that's how I tweaked my back about a couple weeks ago. So, definitely, you need to be very careful as well with this because like I said, boring consistency produces amazing results. You have to, that's where the 4 days a week here, I'm assuming, for the rest, recovery, all that stuff. And plus, age, injury history, medical history are factors to try to figure out where your sweet spot is.
Need these fancy tricks or tactics like 21s that sound cool. We would have been better off just starting with 2 to 3 sets of 6 reps for the barbell curls and then adding a repetition each week and then eventually adding weight when we reach the top end of that rep range. And this is what I want you guys to understand. If
That's actually a really good thing to scale it up by rep per week and then see if you can bring the weight up. It's like the Wendler 531 method, which I highly recommend you take a look at. It's not mid rep range, but the assistance work is mid rep range and you can choose your own adventure type stuff. And it is scaled to time. We should talk more about Wendler in a dedicated video because I feel like the information there, whether you're 16 or 18 starting out, or you're 54 and you can do some of the movements. I can't really deadlift at this age. So it's something where I really feel like, you can really slow progressive overload is kind of what he's talking about. The adding a rep per week, it's very interesting and something you should definitely try.
your lifts aren't going up, your physique isn't changing. It's that simple. This is why I push 3 to 4 days so consistently. It allows a normal person to get stronger week after week because if you think about it, you work a job, your sleep is probably okay, but it's not perfect. You're stressed most days, you're not hitting your macros or calories exactly like you should, you're not drinking enough water. Trying to train 6 days a week on top of all that is just going to burn you out because the other important things are so out of alignment. That's why they end up stalling, they get injured, or they eventually quit. 3 to 4 days fixes all of that because you recover, you progress, you stay consistent, you actually build strength week after week, and your physique changes because the training is finally working. And remember, most of you guys are just training.
We have to fight the ads sometime. Hope this guy, he has over 500,000 views. So put those ads in there, dude, and make your money. But he makes a very great point about that because I live 6 days a week right now. I'm trying to just kind of rehab and recover and build strength and build muscle. I'm still trying to gain my weight back after the spine infection and then multiple setbacks with my herniated disc touching my nerve. But I could be overdoing it. And also, you get to a point too, not only the boredom, it's not really boredom, but it's just fatigue from too much work. You almost don't look forward to working out. I do every day because it's a blessing, but at the same time, then the quality versus the quantity. I would probably do 4 days a week. Three wouldn't be enough unless I'm doing cardio, yoga, Pilates, other types of modalities for recovery. Then the 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, whatever you like to do, would definitely reach in that. But I come from the era of the Rocky training montage, and I'm still trying to overcome that. Rocky movies are awesome, though.
To look good in normal clothes or at the beach and be strong and healthy for life. So, in my opinion, 3 to 4 days a week is the most sustainable and will still get you 99% of your gains. Next, we're going to talk about walking at 10K steps a day. And I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this one, but walking handles more than people realize. It keeps you lean, it helps with digestion, it reduces overall stress, and it's going to improve your recovery. Because it's low effort, it's low fatigue, and once again, if it's done consistently, this is going to keep you lean without having to do complex cardio. And the next thing
You know what's funny is leave a comment below and let me know if you want me to do a walking video. I wanted to actually take the drone out, make it more cinematic, talking about walking 10,000 steps a day or walking in the vertical diet type of thing 10 minutes after you eat. Let me know if you want to see a dedicated video because that's very, very interesting. Of course, walking, it's free for now. Walking's free for now. And also, weather permitting, you can do it anytime you want. And it's very consistent. Like you said, it doesn't take a ton of effort. If you have a back injury, everything hurts walking. But walking is something I did. That's when we did the walk and talk videos here. Let me know if you want those to come back. James from the Stevie Richards Show was a big fan of those, along with other people, my friend Justin, my friend Danny, everybody. But let me know if you want me to do some of that mixed in. It's a very exciting time to be able to bring different categories. But walking, getting outside, doing all that stuff, especially when you're in a studio all the time, is definitely something. 10,000 steps a day or walking in that vertical diet type of methodology. Very, very good. I want to see if he does any other cardio because I forget what he said.
is going to be eating a real food diet. And for you guys that continue to watch my content, you're going to know that I talk about 3 to 4 day a week training and a real food diet. Like I get so repetitive, but understand if you stick to whole foods, so meat, eggs, fruit, honey, potatoes, rice, maybe some vegetables, you automatically control your calories without tracking obsessively. Like I'm seeing all these people using this like AI app. Like I honestly shouldn't even shout it out on the channel because it's so much BS. But they literally email me every single week trying to get me to sponsor it. And it's like, you don't need an app when you're eating whole foods. Like if you're really trying to dial in and get like super lean or, you have these like really concrete goals, yeah, it might be beneficial to track. But for the most
Man, I couldn't even do one rep. He's there with like some like if route the bar to be 345s on each side. Good Lord, 315 it would be for a bench, I believe. I'm not a math expert, but that's really, really true. And that's why I go back to that Mediterranean diet where it's balanced. You have a ton of different things. You limit your red meat. I'm 54, so I limit it a little bit more. I do have eggs. I'm trying to eliminate the yolks sometimes because cholesterol is sort of in that red area here and there. So that we feel like that's something we need to cut back on. But I definitely have cut down on shakes and also implied a little bit of intermittent fasting, which would actually kind of be in line if you're doing 3 to 4 days a week on non-lifting days. You can employ that intermittent fasting with that or time restricted eating. And that'd be a pretty fascinating experiment as well here on the channel.
when you control your calories with whole
He's still doing
you
reps.
just
Oh,
automatically get lean. And I'm not saying you can't overeat on whole foods, but most people will be satiated after 3 to 4 whole food meals. And you avoid the constant hunger that's going to come from processed food. And I actually just made a full day of eating video breaking down, exactly what a
I'll
whole
check
food
that
diet
out.
looks like and, what I consume. So I'll link that on the screen somewhere now if you want to see exactly what I eat in a day. So far we've talked about lifting, walking, and then eating real whole foods. Next is going to be getting sunlight. And I would almost guarantee that 80% of you right now are like, what does sunlight have to do with getting jacked or getting in shape? Sunlight
If you're in an office, I'm in a studio most of the day and everything. I live in Florida, by the way, so it's unbearably hot or it's basically okay to walk outside. There's no snow or anything, no excuse. definitely the walking part is paired with the sunlight part here. So you can get a free tan, go outside, get sunlight. He's going to say vitamin D and also just getting out and not being having four walls or a cubicle around you. Sometimes easier said than done for most people that are juggling everything. So try to get it in whenever you can.
Is basically your body's start button. So if you're in tune with the research, when you get morning sunlight in your eyes, it tells your brain to turn on your energy, your focus, and basically your muscle building hormones. It's also going to set up your sleep clock so you can actually recover at night because that's when muscle growth happens. Because most people stare at a screen, they rush to work, they sit inside under artificial lights all day, and they never actually see the sun. So their body never gets the signal to fully wake up, their energy stays low, their mood stays flat, and their sleep is going to get worse. And I can
My sleep has been terrible. Another category of content or another topic we can discuss. This week has been garbage, and I don't know what it is. And it probably is mixed with that. A little bit too much screen time because it's part of both my jobs here on the fitness channel as well as the show. And then I love to fall asleep to TV, like, some theory shows, other stuff like Y Files, Oombaville, things like that. And also astronomy type stuff, space type stuff. But it's still probably putting the wrong kind of light into the bedroom. My wife can sleep through anything. She's much better than I am. But my adrenal fatigue from decades of traveling different time zones and stuff like that, but also right now, lack of sunlight. So that's got to change as of yesterday. My wife and I were actually out, went to a local beach, small beach, and then a downtown kind of river area here in Florida. It was amazing having the wind hit you, the breeze, the sun. I just most relaxed I felt in probably almost a year. That's pretty awesome.
promise you guys, if you are trying to build muscle, that is going to kill your progress. And I really encourage you guys to do more research on vitamin D, maybe even get your vitamin D levels checked, and just the importance of getting daily sunlight because it really does matter for your mood, for recovery, and then your testosterone. And how much sunlight you're going to need daily is obviously going to vary from person to person, but this is truly a super simple thing that could be why your testosterone is low and you're not making the best gains. And the next thing we're going to
And people want you to take a vitamin D supplement, which we understand if you're inside all the time, those the vitamin D3 deficiency is going to definitely show up. So a supplement, even though you really don't want to take supplements, that's why they call it supplements. You want to eat food, get sunlight. He's definitely on point with all that, but there will be some situations you just don't know what's potent enough. You don't know. They say what's in it, and of course, proprietary blends and pre-workouts and other stuff. Come on, he's probably got a video. If not, we will soon about that.
talk about is sleeping 7 to 9 hours. And this should be common sense, but common sense isn't always common practice. Look at it like this. If your sleep is bad, everything else suffers. Strength, testosterone, fat loss, recovery, all of it. Good sleep is one of the most powerful performance enhancers you can give yourself, and it's free. So what I do each night is I set my thermostat down to a cooler temp. Mine is normally around 66 degrees. Use blackout
Ooh.
curtains and try to avoid your phone or any blue light a few hours before bed. I also take a magnesium glycinate supplement before bed for deeper sleep so you can
So he does take a supplement of magnesium. I take a magnesium and I take a little bit of CBN and just try to get the right, I guess. And then I ruin it by watching shows and getting some light from the TV. He's absolutely right with all that stuff.
research that as well as vitamin D. And next, we're going to talk about hydration. So, being even a little dehydrated ruins your strength, your pump, and your energy. And most guys walk around tired for no reason other than they barely drink any water. Once again, common sense isn't common practice. And an easy way to get a rough number of how much water you need in a day is to take your body weight and just cut it in half. That's going to give you the correct amount of ounces. Then you can go to Amazon or wherever and just buy yourself a dedicated stainless steel water bottle and just get as big of one as possible so you have to fill it up less times and then actually track it each day. You might actually find this whole time that you were simply dehydrated and that's why your workouts were suffering. So it wasn't your program, it wasn't your diet, it wasn't anything other than you weren't drinking enough water. That's why I tell you guys so frequently to track. And I'm going to be honest, this one is the most boring and it's the most overused, but it's the most important. It's be consistent. And I really, really want you guys to understand this. You can do all
Boring consistency produces amazing results.
the things I just laid out, but if you only last 2 weeks, nothing's going to happen. You must be consistent for months and then even years. So I want you to lift, walk each day, eat real food, get sunlight, sleep, hydrate, and repeat. It works. It's always worked, and people only miss it because they're too busy looking for something more complicated. And if you guys want a complete step-by-step program that works no matter your starting point, you can learn more by clicking the pinned comment under this video. I truly appreciate each and every one of you guys that comments and tunes into each video. I'll talk to you guys in the next one.
All right, so yeah, it's a program. Let's take a look at that in the description right here, the exact workout program. Let's see what we have. Open that up. Definitely want to promote this because this guy knows what he's talking about. He really does. He keeps it very simple. Let's see. I have programs as well, but here's his program and what it costs, average to jacked workout program. Let me know if you want me to do a review of this here, because I'm always interested to see what people do. And awesome stuff right here. So here's a landing page with everything. We'll have a link to this in the description as well, $79, depending upon how long it is and what it offers here. Let's see what we have. So I'm gonna just see what he has. Maybe I'll reach out to him and invest in the program. So, but you're talking about 3 to 4 times a week, and sticking to what he says there right now. So let me know what you think in the comments about this. Obviously, he pointed out a lot of things where we can all be deficient, including myself. Lack of sleep, lack of sunlight. That's 2 big ones for me. I do have water right here, so I'm trying to stay hydrated. And it is a steel cup. Probably get a bigger one, a gallon jug or something like that. But definitely subscribe to Average to Jacked. Check out his program. I feel like we're going to be definitely consuming a lot more of his content and reacting to it and offering commentary, although basically it's just agreeing with everything. Now, getting to the point of what I talked about earlier about the type of content, the type of categories of content I want to bring here to Stevie Richards Fitness, to the YouTube channel. I really want to talk about stuff, and like I said, presenting in more of a Y-Files, Oompaville type of maybe documentary type thing like this, but not with the green screen, with basically more of a studio background, what we have on the Stevie Richards show, and address topics like one of the ones I looked at was the Lyle Alzado, steroid controversy, and then ultimately him passing away, and go through the chronological order of that and really dive deep into, did he lie about this at particular times? What are some of the pitfalls? What are some of the cautionary tales? Would people like Ronnie Coleman? I want to get into the WWF steroid scandal back in the 90s. I want to talk about other things like he was talking about with supplements, everything like that, and addressing it with my experiences and also personal thoughts, opinions, viewpoints, and also talk about it from the course of my teens, 20s, 30s, 40s, and now into my 50s, and how all of my thoughts and opinions have basically changed. And simple is better. So I have a bunch of topics I wrote down. Let me know if there's something you would love me to cover here as far as that. Even the celebrity trainers, celebrity diets, chicken, rice, and broccoli. That thing was one of the most popular walk and talk videos that we have up here on the channel. But if I want to go dive deeper, make it a bit more cinematic, a bit more of a storytelling, filmmaking type of presentation, I really want to do that and kind of learn it in my 50s. You never stop learning. We can do a video about that as well. But thank you very much for watching this video. Please subscribe, click the comment, click the comment, Philly accent, Philly grammar. Click the notification bell, comment below. Also, we do have recommended brands here at Stevie Richards Fitness. You can check them out. We have reviews up here as well, and we will be bringing reviews, but I'm a little bit nervous about that with the current Glux Gym Vulcan Strength lawsuit. So I figured this would be a good departure and hopefully give you lots of valuable information and also give my viewpoints and perspective on things within the fitness industry. But for now, thank you guys so much once again for watching this video. God bless each and every one of you. Have a great day.